Our computer is picking up a strange signal. Here, sir, you better take a look at
Hello listeners, and welcome to another episode of Life Through a Prism with your host Rob Tierney. And we're continuing the series with Merran today. And Merran, we're going to have a discussion about with your life after retirement and up until recently. So I'll hand it over to you, Merran, and here you go.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. I retired at the end of 2011. Which obviously was meaning a different kind of life for me. There was at that stage a little group of probably older people with vision impairment, and we used to meet together once a month, and we used to spend that time talking about and using and that sort of technology, some of it quite simple, of course, learning how it worked and what you could do with it. Because if one person in that group knew and they were able to pass on the information to somebody else, that couple of hours every month was great for that sort of thing. And that's where I started to learn about new phones that had come out. But I was concerned about the fact that they were being quite flat and you couldn't actually find keyboards and stuff and how on earth you were going to use it. But some of the lads there who did have some sight started to explain what they were like and what to do. And one of them they said, I download books every week. He said, it only takes a few minutes. And he said, I want something to read on the bus. Oh, well. And so I thought, this is really quite interesting. But I'm a bit of a slowpoke coming to all that sort of thing, though. But I was fascinated by the differences and things that were becoming available. I still had my computer on and speech screen reader and all of that, but because it changed every time you either had to buy a new computer or the program needed updating. Then things changed, and by little, and I suppose, like a lot of other people here, was thinking about how we were going to continue to do this, because obviously we'd have to find somebody who knew more about it than we did, even together as a group. So that was one of the things that I was still. We used to meet at the library, and sometimes it would be storytelling, and we had one or two people there who could tell really good stories, and life stories, but they're really absolutely wonderful. And I wish now we'd probably somehow put it together, actually, for other people to listen to. And that's a late realisation for me. That was something we could have done. And that went on every year, and we'd go up and every first Monday and every month we would meet together and continue to do those sorts of things. And other than that, I was still part of one of the things that I had been dealing with, and I was a little more free to do now, was I was a member of an international speaking organisation, public speaking, and I spent quite a good deal of time, a couple of times a month, and we'd meet together, and this was just a simple group of other people. And I would have been the only one in that particular group that had a disability, but we all managed it really well. But another said to me, well, now you're the one who can do all the speeching because you're the one who knows how to do it. Because I used to do a lot of it in impromptu, and I like doing it that way, actually. I hated having notes because notes, and even though I don't see, and I had them in Braille, you look down, and you shouldn't. If you're going to be looking at your audience, if you understand that, and yes, and I was just so. And these are things, and these are technically, I remember going to conferences, and that's where all the bits and pieces of technology that we're using in terms of microphones and speakers that within rooms and conference rooms in places where we went to, and that was all fascinating. But how on earth did they do all this? That was a bit of a mystery for me, but it just meant that what you were doing in a slightly different way. You didn't have to sort of do it every day, but you did keep contact with what was going on. And sometimes, though, there was always going to be that delay because something hasn't caught up. Technically, things hadn't caught up in terms of what we were using. And I had to find some way or means to keep on doing it and keep on keeping up with everybody else. And it's really quite fascinating the way things. It was JAWS. I began to use JAWS, Jobs Access with Speech. And as the newer versions came up, they slowly but surely increased your ability to do things within the text and on-screen material that was becoming available. And then some of the smaller items that became available, you could download books onto them. And that was fascinating too, because it meant that it was going to make things a little bit more mobile for some of us. And like a lot of them, though, a lot of us didn't have the money to be buying all that. It's an expensive business, and it's a niche market. I suppose that is why it is a little difficult. But we were thinking about it, and I'm talking to people within various organisations about the place, that there had to be somewhere where we could learn to use the equipment and the technology that was available at the time. And a client, one of my friends said to me, well, I know somebody who can probably give you a hand. And I thought, oh, okay. Has there been any experience with it? No, you'll probably be teaching each other. Oh, fair enough. Okay, well, we can have a go at that. And we did. And, it's amazing the friendships that came out of that sort of thing. And that continued and still continued today for some of us. And I think life and history has been, the last few years has really changed everything about even being able to meet together, and that's another talk. That's another story. Where we are at this moment is as far as I've caught up to with all the technology that is available, and there's a long way to go, but I don't know that I want to go there yet. So, Robert, I really, well, it's something that you've probably had to touch on too. And we have to learn to do new things with all new bits and pieces of equipment. So it can be funny, but it can be serious too.
Yeah. So that's sort of leading us, isn't it, into our final conversation in this series. Is that next time, Merran and I are going to have a little bit of a chat in regards to how we came across each other. With technology, and how that technology, we've both been able to learn from each other, and we've formed a really strong friendship over that. So it's very interesting how something that you think that I don't know where this is going to take me ends up taking you places that you'd never would dream of. So with that in mind, listeners, that'll be in our next episode, final one in the series. And I just want to say thank you, Merran, again for being part of today. And we'll sign off now, listeners. So till next time, take care and bye for now.